artist by profession, and I usually do Twitch, YouTube, blah 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 blah. So, I'm tired of this. So now I just respond with, sorry, I'm saving money for my dick reduction surgery. Which is a lie. I actually need an extension. Real shit, That's what true Sigma males do.
Sigma grind set.
Sigma grind set right there.
Like us, we're in the beta cuck mindset.
I mean, we are scared of women.
We are in the beta cuck mindset of trying to figure out how women work.
I don't understand. I plugged in the power cable, but it doesn't seem to be turning on.
I plugged it in. Bend over. And then we have another friend, Luke, that would refer to him as bend over.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Luke was the friend I would go out partying a lot with.
Got it. You sucked his dick in the bathroom.
No, he sucked mine in the bathroom. I sucked his wife's dick.
I've been distracting her, and you go like 5 inches. What the fuck? Okay, so step out of the car.
World's fastest car.
This is. There we go. There we go.
Jesus Christ, Leafy.
Should we let Leafy drive? Is this a good idea?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Leafy, you should probably get out of the car then.
I don't.
Leafy, just get out of the car.
What? Oh.
Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is.
There we go.
Leafy's playing as a hippie character, so he's probably behind if you only drive like 5 miles per hour.
The nerf.
Come on, bruh.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Go. Yes.
Holy shit!
Oh god!
Becky, what happened to you? Holy shit!
What are you? What do you want?
Like,
Play it off the entire time. Like it's a really, really bizarre game. I'm so, like, you see, this is the perfect horror game because not only do we suffer, but so does chat. You see, the other games, you guys get to be entertained by my suffering. In this scenario, we both suffer.
Yeah. And that's the definition.
I was in a really bad spot here.
I think I downloaded the wrong William Osman video.
Me too. Me too, Leafy.
You guys see this? Just look at Leafy's stream real quick. Just take in this exact clip.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm going back to Kubi's stream. Safe haven.
Actually, you know what? Let's follow that person. Let's be that guy. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This may be considered toxic. Wait, what? How? How did you... How... There's no way you could do... There's no way you did that. They just landed. You guys saw that, right? They just landed. There's no way they have a weapon. Hey, you also got cock.
I do also have cock. I rescued
You want a sword fight? You want a sword fight?
An alleyway.
We're crossing swords right now.
Turn off your fucking flashlight.
You killed my father.
Pew 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 pew.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
We're all the way back here. Oh yeah, that's right. Mole rats. Slimbo, get him! Get him, Slimbo! You can do it. I believe in you, Slimbo. Come on, go Slimbo. I got money on you. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. Yeah, my boy over here. Laying the smackdown on that mole rat. Let's see if Kim Possible can do anything about that. Wait, what the? But they're
no
way
one's
too fast.
stopping you.
It's too fast. Way too fast. If I could, I would be doing violent pornography, but that's way too fast.
Out of context, that
Sounds really bad in context.
I feel like it's going to get. I feel like that's going to get like. That would be
I
a
wanna
great
just-
clip.
post that on Twitter, like.
That is very impressive. That is a very threatening power. Just imagine like some dude that really doesn't like you, just like running up and just like projectile pissing on you with their eyes. That's very like. What if I have a STD, man? Dude, it's like there's a lot of issues with this. That is a very threatening ability. What's Superman going to do if, like, a villain just pisses through their eyes on them, and he has, like, and they're HIV positive? That means, like, he's just screwed. He's got HIV, man. You can't do anything about that. That's some, like, tough stuff, man. Can't really do anything about that.
Want to see this person?
Don't worry, I'll carry you to victory.
where's-
I'll
Where's the
carry you
mad
to
clown?
victory. I will carry you to
I hope
victory.
y'all
Where's
fucking
the
die.
mad
I will
in
carry
the
you
game.
to victory, Necro.
Carry me, Leafy.
I'm
Carry me to
carrying you
victory.
victory.
We're homies. You have to carry me.
Victory.
That's what homies do.
It's what we do. Oh.
It's what we do. It's what we do.
I don't really like that because, like, this is a serious topic. It's, of course, I have my doo-doo, haha, funny humor. I have it like we all do.
1 minute.
But-
Spawn said something in chat, and I gotta respond to it. Spawn, you motherfucker! I will nut on your taco if you ever do that again, you motherfucker.
What did he say?
This is what the suppository fist looks like. You see, you use this for proper, like, you know, it makes sure that there's enough room, like, when you have a really hard shit, you know, you need this. You need this in order to, like, pass that hard shit that's gonna come one day. You need the suppository fist. It's huge. Let's see here. Let's see here. See, like that. This is big. This here. This is what you need. It might scream sometimes too, you know. You know. Greetings and good morning. I ask for a singular photograph of your tits. If that is not possible, for any reason, then I ask for a singular photograph of a pencil. Can be any brand or type, like mechanical, I don't care. Thank you and goodbye.
What happens if I send you a pic of my taint?
That's not listed as an option, so I have no plan for that. Whatever you want, though.
Well, fucking Poliwhirl is goofy looking.
I like.
Looks like the kid you push over in the hall to get to class on time.
Oren, you are the kid you push over to get to class on time. Grass out of the ground and just eating it with the dirt and all. And it's just like, I just keep eating and eating. And like, even after, even if I'm like sick in my stomach, it's okay. Because I'm just going to keep eating it. I just keep eating it. It's just like, you know, no matter how much my stomach tells me, please stop, you're going to vomit, you're going to get sick, I just continuously eat it. And then I'm just like, I get brain rot from all the worms in the dirt. And I become one with nature and become a ultimate powerful being right before streams. And it works. Trust me, guys. You go into your backyard, I guarantee you'll become the ultimate powerhouse of the universe. I'm gonna rock smash it and hope it doesn't die.
Splash.
No! No!
Oh, bruh.
It's self-destruct.
The power of God in the anime is not on your side. Unfortunate.
This was beyond heartbreak. Do not wake the owl. We do not need to wake the owl. Do not. I repeat, do not wake the owl. I said, and I repeat this once more, do not wake the owl. Here. Alright, it's like you date, like you start. Hello, chat. How are you? How are you doing, chat? How are you? Yep. I hit up some friends I may join. I was actually surprised. If you haven't yet, give me a minute. Shout out Sarah _Persea, who's actually live for once, giving her or them a shout out. They're also a really good friend of mine. They are a moderator here as well. Hello, Mama Leafy. I'm fine. How are you? I am good. You are free to join, by the way. You're free to join me, Q. We are reacting to the full debate between Biden and Trump. Between our sleepy uncle and Homelander from The Boys. Who will win? Someone who needs to take a nap or a literal sociopath? Or is he a psychopath? I don't know. It could go either way. The line between those two kind of really feels very thin. Either way, dangerous man, dangerous Cheeto, the forbidden Cheeto. Oh man, so I guess before we start, good news everybody. We got Guilty Gear Strive. Not just that, but I spoke to my friend Joy, a really good friend of the channel. She has never been on the channel, but she has rated us several times, and we have rated her several times. She said that she would coach me after I figure out which character I want to learn on Guilty Gear Strive. And if you do not know, she is an insane Guilty Gear player. She's an insane fighting game player in general. She's like, well, she doesn't go by Joy anymore, actually. Her name is Saturine. I think it's Saturine Syrup, or is it Syrup Saturine? Let me check real quick over here. So here's, oh yeah. I'm inviting a new friend. We're actually talking about the scary, the fear mongering and whatnot here. Yo, Cole, what is up? How are you doing? Chat. This is Cole. Cole Train is here. He recently became a new homie on the Twizzler app. Yeah. Did someone join? No. Okay. I thought I heard some rustling. Oh, that might have been my room. Yo, what is up? yeah, we're gonna be reacting to the debate here. But yeah, oh yeah, I remember what I was looking up. What is her new name? Is it Sugar? Sugar, is it Sugar? No. Oh, it might help if I spell it correctly. Sugar. No, I'm gonna try Syrup. Syrup Saturine, that's her new handle. This here is my buddy Syrup. That's what they go by now. But yeah, they're pretty cool. If you haven't checked her out, go ahead and check her out. I'll send her Twitter. Oh, a little early. Grab that. We're gonna bring this over here, and I'm going to put her Twitter there for you guys to check out. She's pretty great. She's pretty cool. Hell yeah. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's a big retro gaming player. She is a PS1 Polygon VTuber. She's hilarious. Like, some of the things that she says is just off the walls. Hell yeah. Cole over here being the MVP. Let's go. Alright, let's see this train wreck. Hell yeah. Are you guys scared? I'm pretty scared. What was it? It was what was like what was the iconic phrase Alex Jones says? He's like, "It's time to get scared, everyone." It's like, "It's time to get scared, everyone." That's like an ad right there. Oh, that's a sponsor. I don't care about who's sponsoring this. Florida. Florida. Do you think? Okay. I think it's funny. Legitimately, I just think it's kind of funny that like they make sure like to include like the rest of the world, even though like, so I understand like why like it's important for people outside the United States to know what's going on in America, because we are like the big scary bully. Like, if we get the wrong guy, like, oh, this could mean awful things are coming our way if we're not careful, kind of thing. But also like it's just like also just like the countries around them might be weird. I feel like the outcome of this can really I feel like this election is probably going to be like the most like horrifying election we've ever had. I could be wrong. It could be just like while I'm alive, you know. This could be the worst, like the scariest election, because like one hand you get someone that's kind of like doing like kind of goofy ish, like, haha, I accidentally did something, guys, haha. And then you got someone that says the same thing, but they're not actually forgetting things and stuff. They're pretending to be senile to like do awful things and do mobster shit under the table. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of scary. Spookies. On CNN. Cartoon Network. It's basically, do we want to keep America or see it torn apart? Yeah, pretty much. What does the rest of the United States want? So, their outfit choices are interesting. She's all white and he's in a black suit. Is there like symbolism here? Is this like, were they dressed like this, or did they choose their own outfits? Hey, Blue. By the way, Cole, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Lurkers are cool in my book. Okay. Yeah. It's crazy that 4 years already flown by. That's crazy. For closing statements. Okay. I think they should just get wiffle ball bats and just like duke it out like gladiators. I think that's how we should decide our leader, with good old fashioned violence. I feel like Trump would like run out of air real quick. He'd just be huffing and puffing while Biden just like forgets what he's doing and just keeps me to go. Hey folks, how are you? He's just like a nice guy, though. It's like he really is just like the sleepy uncle. He's just a nice guy. Man, that's like a super villain entrance right there. Hello, Mr. Cheeto. He's just Chester Cheeto with a skin suit on. Oh gosh. What is that look? Why are they so animate? I think we should put them both in old folks' home with a replica Oval Offices and tell them that they're both won the election. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Trump looks like he's like thinking, but it's like not even on like what's going on. It's like he's thinking about what he's gonna eat for dinner that night. Blue, what are you doing? Blue? Man, he's really going in there. Damn. He's prepared. It's almost like he's an actual politician. Trump is thinking that the cake he had earlier was the best cake he ever had. You know, for real. He says that like after every slice of cake he has, and he has it for every meal. That's the best slice of cake I ever had. Oh no, he's frowning now. I think the cake came out of his other hand. That one was stinky. He's so animate. No, we didn't. What the hell, man? Let's check that real quick. U.S. economy graph. Let's go with 2018 midway into his. You know, I should probably put the 0 there. 2018. So let's see here. Generating. Alrighty. Alright. That isn't what I wanted. Is this what? Here's some websites. I don't want. Let's see here. Is there like a graph that shows up right here? I want to see like the difference between 2018 and today. Let's see here. Alrighty. That's 2018. Now let's look at U.S. economy 2024. We're gonna come over here. This is like towards the end. I'm giving Trump the the advantage here. What's this? This is not anything that we are looking at here. This here, does it show? I really don't know why I'm looking at this. I don't know what it means. Yeah, sorry, chat. I can't figure out how to, like, look that up. That was pretty dumb of me, actually. It's okay. It's okay. I wanted to fact check them, but I don't know how you fact check that. If someone smarter can fact check that for me, that'd be great. I would love you forever. I'll give you a kiss on the cheek. What? I mean, I agree. What am I fact checking? So Trump is saying like he had the best, like under his like presidency, they had the best economy in history. And I was trying to like figure out, like try to understand that, because it's like I feel like I spent like it was so much harder for me to get anything I needed under his like presidency. Whereas with Biden, it's like I can actually eat full meals at an affordable price. Whereas under like Trump's presidency, it's like, holy shit. I guess I'm just gonna eat ramen noodles all week again. Beans and ramen noodles. But yeah, I was just like trying to figure that out. But I found like some graphs and I was like, actually, I don't know what these graphs even mean, so it's useless. Ooh. Ooh. We had the highest inflation rate. All social programs were cut almost in half. The tax cut he gave to everyone he had to pay back come tax season. Oh. Wait. Donnie, what are you talking about? What are you saying he can't take credit for that? You, like, okay, that's funny because it's like, he can't take credit for that. It's like, okay, so you purposely sabotage everything to be as awful as it could be for Biden to go into the Biden administration. And then he can take credit for all of the shitty things you did, but he can't take the credit for the bounce back jobs? Bro, what the fuck? Which is oddly a common practice. That is an oddly common practice when it's like political opponents. It's like when you're leaving office and you're planning on running again, you just like purposely just sabotage everything for the new guy so that like in hope that they can't bounce back from your sabotage. That's so weird. I never understood that. It's like, don't you just want to lead like a better country? Why would you sabotage it? His eyes got big. What the fuck? He's okay when he's talking about this here. He's trying to claim that him trying to like drill national parks, like he was wanting to turn like national parks into like use those for like what is it, the oil reserves or whatever. But he was wanting to start drilling national parks is what he wanted to do. Which I'm pretty sure those are protected areas, right? Let me check real quick. I'm gonna fact check myself. National parks protected. Let's see here. Yes, national parks are protected areas of nature that are designated by national governments for conservation purposes. They are often owned and protected by the government and are intended to preserve wild nature for full generations and as a symbol of national pride. So yeah, I did have that correct. Okay, got that. And if you guys want to make sure, this is it. There we go. So yeah, so he's willing to do big corporate shit. He wants to turn the United States into a corporation that drains all the people and all of our resources. He just wants to kill the wildlife in order to make a quick buck. But it is not a, like, sustainable way to approach the situation. Wait. There we go. That look, like, really? What? Bro, you were literally telling people to inject hand sanitizer into their veins and drink bleach. And people actually did that shit. This is... that look on his face. Cut yourself open and let the sunshine in. Exactly. Trillion was said what? I'll give him that. It's easy to screw up. Oh yeah. Okay, I just want to say, I do that, like, live on stream sometimes. So I can't even, like, blame him. Like, I go into, like, a long-winded, like, explanation, and then, like, my brain just, like, malfunctions. It's like, but I get it. He's old. But so is Trump. Dude, you don't want to support Medicare. What are you talking about? Biden looks so depressed. Oh my goodness. Oh, he looks like he's about to go on his Joker arc. What the fuck? What the fuck, Biden? It's like, what is it? The Joker snaps. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let me see here. Like, we come over here. He's giving me this version of the Joker vibes with that smile. Like, look at that. He's like, I'm gonna kill this man. That's what he looks like. What the hell?
electric, send this to the penis explosion chamber and have his penis exploded immediately!
Yo, thank you for the raid, Persea. Let me give you a shout. Oh, wait, that's right. I need to type in shout out first. Sorry, I just pulled a Biden. Serif _ Persea. Might help if I spell it correctly. No, I did not spell that correctly again. There we go. Maybe I need to get my... I have to wait like another half hour to give you a shout out. That's okay though. Hi! I'm a problem too, don't worry. But yeah, so far, Trump's been lying out of his ass and Biden had a malfunction moment. And now it kind of looks like he's about to go on his Joker arc. Actually, can I go back to that? Like, let me do this here. Can we go back to that? There it is. No, wait. There it is. He looks like he's snapped. Like he's gonna kill him. He's going on his Joker arc, guys. Oh my goodness. But yo, how was your stream? You were playing Among Us. Amogus. Was it like, what was the occasion? What brought you back to streaming, Persea? I seem to have gotten a message. Let's see here. What's going on here? Was it my email? Is that what it was? I don't know. That's weird. That was strange. I don't know what that was. Yeah, celebrating a birthday. Whose birthday was it? Whose birthday was it? Huh? Who's the birthday girl, boy, or them? Oh gosh, my eyes went like cross-eyed for a second there. Shiro, I don't know if you know her. I probably don't. You should send me their like Twitter link so I can follow the birthday person. Oh no. I knocked over my cup that says, here comes the grannies. Well, I mean, they don't like us because of you. That's crazy. He's just staring off into the void. Okay. Good. What? Huh. What? Okay, so I hate the way that it's like worded, right? They want it back. It's like, okay. The way that like people use it, it's like it confuses me because it's like I can't tell if they're saying like, oh, they want abortion or they want to ban it, and it's like that always confuses me because they just say it feels like they're saying the same. Everyone's saying the same thing, but they mean something different. But I know for a fact that a lot of like conservatives and religious people do not want that. I hear about it all the time. But, you know, I'm pro-choice. It's just really strange to me, like, how it's worded. I don't know, like, if there's, like, I feel like some people... I feel like when I finally understand it, it, like, gets flipped on me. Because the person who's talking about it doesn't know what it means. So it always, like, messes me up. I just love, like, watching Biden react to everything he's saying. It's just really funny. What? Biden looks so confused. What? That face. I'm like... I'm so confused because I could have... Like, I thought this was something he was against. But at the same time, it's like... He's saying a lot of things in there that just doesn't make sense. He's talking about, like... This is, like, jobs overseas or something. You can't hear the debate? Wait, what? Why? Give me a minute. Let me fix that. Why? You're fucking kidding me. Do I have to restart stream? You're fucking... This entire time you guys could not hear the debate at all. Because that... I don't want to restart stream. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute that, and I'm going to mute Discord audio, and I'm just going to have desktop audio.
You have to get...
Okay. There we are. That actually... I had it working. Okay, here's like the frustrating thing is that I had it working on OBS, and then it just stopped working on OBS. That is the frustrating part, is like OBS wants to be a POS. So much. It's so frustrating. Yeah, that's because I put it on desktop audio, which means that like anything that happens on my PC, you guys are going to hear it. And I cannot separate the audio from Discord. So if someone joins me, you guys might get over, like, I might have to like turn down on here. Yo, thank you for the follow. Stellira is a new friend of mine too. They are pretty cool. They were actually telling me a little bit about the debate as well. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. I can go drop a follow for them. Shiro Stories. Oh, I'm already following her. Oops. That's funny. I'm already following her. Alright. So now that I'm having like done having like my mental breakdown over the OBS not taking in like the sound, here, let me like take this back so you guys can like hear this. But yeah, it's like really strange because it's like the way he's talking about it is like he's bringing jobs back over. It's Stellaria. Stellara. What's up? Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate lurkers. Lurkers are great. But yeah, like...
You take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states. However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided, supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states, let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal. There's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters. It's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
There have been many young.
What? They just cut him off? Didn't even let. What? Was it me or did he have less time? Chat, am I crazy? Did they cut him off? It felt like Trump got like So much more time to talk. What the hell?
Women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which, frankly, they didn't. But they would have. Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many.
Why does he keep referring to Ronald Reagan? Like, specifically Ronald Reagan. That is an odd politician to fixate on.
Presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
Staying on the
I think it's funny how he speaks with absolutes. Like, everything's an absolute. He keeps referring to, like, the economy. It was the worst ever under Biden's control. And then, like, he talks about his presidency. It was the best economy ever in history. It's like, every political scholar, it's like, that's not true. Even if it was a majority, you're still just using absolutes for the sake of using absolutes.
topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making those decisions. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to.
Wait, what the fuck? Look at this. Okay, no. Let's see here. Homelander irritated. Can I get like a... Can I open? Not exactly, but it's pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. Not exactly. Not exactly. So close. I'll have that image on the side.
Going to do, and if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v.
Wait.
That's how it should be run.
He's mewing. Trump is mewing.
That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip.
He looks like he shot himself, and he's like, oh no, not again. He has a no, not again face.
The baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. that Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think...
Let's find out. Let's find out, chat. I'm going to keep the Homelander tab open here. Let me do this real quick. Actually, no, I can do it. Like, I forgot this is...
That's a good thing. We think it's a...
Here. Alright, let's... I'm just going to move this out of the way. Roe... There's... Okay. Roe versus Wade. Late term. Let's find out. Summary of... Okay. Let's see here. This is an org. In college I was told that... Let's see. Alright. That's fine. This is like that. This is kind of funny. It's just like a PDF file of like screenshots. It's kind of funny. Let's see here. Let's stop being this here. Fetus is not a person but a potential life. Where? Where's the search thing? Is it here? No, it's not. You can search those things, right? Alright, no. We're gonna... Oh, that's right. Brain. There we go. Let's see, that's an org. Abortion. Taking every state. Let's see here. This looks like it covers what I'm looking for. I guess I'm gonna allow it. But we're not backing out. Okay. Recognized nearly 50 years. Okay. For the years we are looking for a bishop to where, dude, why is it so hard for me to read right now? Protected clause 14 covers the freedom. Several decisions, it was clear. Okay. Okay, I'm like, we'll look at that later.
Radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board, at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number asylum
There's
officers.
a lot of weird
Significantly,
stuff with
by the way,
it.
the Border Patrol endorsed me, endorsed my position. In addition to that, we find ourselves in a situation where, when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we had the safest border in the...
That was so passive aggressive. Oh my goodness.
history of our country. The border... That's what he said either. Look.
He's like, you didn't know what I said? Like, why are politicians so animate? It's so weird.
We had the safest border in the history of our country. The border, all he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now, all terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it.
What do you mean by terrorists? What are you talking about? Chat, have you guys heard, like, any, like, terrorist attacks going on? Because I don't know what he's talking about. I just don't know, chat. It just doesn't make sense to me. Have we had any terrorist attacks recently, chat? Because I'm not aware of this. Am I just being, like, ignorant? Am I being ignorant right now? Or is it, he's full of shit? Because I'm on the boat that he's full of shit. That could also just be wrong. I just have not heard anything about any terrorist attacks here in the United States. I've heard a lot about, like, school shootings. Like, let me check real quick. Let's see here, terrorism definition. 10 years later. Let's see here. Like, the last terrorist attack I remember hearing about was, like, when I was in high school, when there was, I don't even remember what it was. It was like they, like, threw a bomb in a bus or something, I think. It was weird. I don't know. This is weird. I'm not seeing anything recent here. Jihadi threat. It's weird. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, chat. I don't know where he's getting at. Could be because I'm on Google.
It open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president.
But
Brandon.
I won't say that. Continues to say it not once, but twice. Okay.
Just speak to him. But look, we had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in caravans.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed three, under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in his administration, killed three American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorist ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people, that's simply not true. There is no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every...
Is it just... Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. I know Biden's like fumbling things, but I actually follow what Biden is saying. It really just feels like Trump is just over here just like saying the most extreme with every absolute he can fit in there. It's like, what the actual fuck? This is like the opposite of Light Yagami versus L. You know, this is the opposite of that. That's what this is.
Every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level...
That was so not clever. It's like, oh, I need to think of something clever to fit his name in here. Migrant crime? Biden migrant crime. It's like, what the fuck, man?
That we've never seen before, and you're reading it like these 3 incredible young girls over the last few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all, and he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest...
On that. Is there... That's a .com. I want a .org. .gov is, I was told, it was reliable as well. So let's hear. Let's see here. Trump attacks on our military go beyond losers, suckers, smears. President Donald Trump reported a desecration of American soldiers who fell in World War One. May rank among the worst slurs he has uttered in office, but Trump's hostility toward troops and veterans is now new. Trump has compiled a record in word and deed that is... I actually never read this word before, so let me Google that real quick. Definition. Something or someone that mocks... Oh, okay. And it is pronounced... That is not pronunciation that I've ever seen. That looks like... That's an upside down E. What the fuck? Okay. I think this is just a word I'm not meant to pronounce. To the health of service members, especially those who have suffered some of the worst wounds in action. Despite Trump's avowed affection, his administration has repeatedly attempted to slash benefits for veterans. Under current law, veterans are eligible to receive generous disability compensation the day after being discharged or released from the hospital or rehabilitation. Importantly, when disabilities worsen, veterans have wide leeway to apply for increased financial support. There's a lot more here, but I feel like that's more than enough. So while we're at it, let me come over here real quick and come over here. Let me try. I'm gonna try getting my stack up link here. Let's see here. Oh wait, that's right. It's there we go. Over here. This is the PDF. Am I looking at the wrong one? I might be looking at the wrong one. Oh, wait, no, I found it. No, wait. No, that is a stream overlay, not the website. Oh, wait, is this it? Is this mine? Yeah, here we go. Account. While we're at it, chat, where is my link? Where's my link? Where do I get my link? I'm sorry, chat. I just realized, there we go. Alright, I had to fix that real quick before I sent that out. Where's the link? Is it over here? Oh, that's nice of him. Oh no, that's one that I gave. Okay, no. Chat, I will figure this out. I'm trying to view your page. Oh, okay. I think I found it. Maybe? Possibly? I don't know. Here, I think this is it. This might be it. Here you go, chat. This may be... let me check real quick, just in case I'm sending the right thing. Is it here? Okay, yeah, I found it. Okay, chat, yeah, I found it. Here we go. There it is. If you want to support veterans, you can donate there. Yep, mental health for veterans. Stack up. So yeah, unlike Trump, you could be supportive of our troops.
Approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did, and I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by allowing all of these people to come in. And it's a very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every single one. For example, veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And he opposed, his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect.
I'll have to ask because I could be wrong. I think my great grandfather might have suffered from Agent Orange, but I could be wrong. There's a very good chance I could be wrong. It could have been a different chemical, but I know like my great grandfather suffered from the chemical while he was in service.
Respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits. Came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Let it out, buddy. Show him who's boss. Get your fangs out. Claws and fangs. Let's go. That's what I want to see. I want to see my man just like get visceral and defend his son's honor. Hell yeah, we love to see it. That's what we call a family man.
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines.
Bro, we just... Let's see here. Wait. .gov. That is not a magazine. That is not a magazine, bro. It's not a third-rate magazine.
He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
A 4-star general standing to your side who was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country.
Let me talk about Stack Up for a second. Let's come over here. I'm going to pull this over here, chat. So here. Founded in 2015, Stack Up. Okay, I did not expect to see the tax ID. Brings both veterans and civilian supporters together. Here, let me actually look at you guys. Through a shared love of video gaming, using our primary programs, the Stack Ups, Supply Crates, Air Assaults, and the Stack Up Overwatch program. What does Stack Up mean? Okay, so this is what Stack Up means. Oh, okay. A stack is a slang term for a formation used in military or law enforcement when an assault team forms up single file along the entrance or doorway to a room where they believe a threat is located. For the charity, the stack represents a strong community of friends, family, brothers, and sisters in arms, and supporters all coming together for a common mission, and here that's supporting veterans with video gaming. What's with the weird grenade? When a stack prepares to breach and clear a room, as detailed above, the second team member in the stack throws a noise flash diversionary device, better known as a flashbang, into the room to blind, deafen, and disorient anyone waiting for the team to enter. Wait. I'm a little bit confused. What's the symbolism for that? I'm sorry. I'll ask later. So here, when I was in Iraq, and our infantry company received a crate full of third-hand romance novels from a library. We used them for target practice on the confiscated arms range, but it was there I realized people wanted to help veterans, but they just didn't know what we wanted. So let's go over here and finish reading the rest of this is here. Captain Stephen I'm gonna butcher his last name. Machuga, U.S. Army, founder and CEO, Stack-Up.org. Okay, nice. Important deployment gear. Game Boy Advance with Final Fantasy Tactics. That's amazing, actually. My name is Captain Steven. I'm just going to say Captain Steven because I am never going to pronounce that name correctly until he tells me. And video gaming saved my life. From the time I could walk, I've had various video game controllers in my hands at all times, so it should come as no surprise that video gaming helped acclimatize me back into normal life when I redeployed from a 13-month tour in Iraq. Some of these really long words are just dyslexia overload. My particular problem was trash pickup day in Iraq. Insurgents hid explosive devices in piles of trash littering the sides of every road in the country. So every time we would drive by one, you would just wait for it to blow up in your face. Fast forward to coming back home and imagining driving to the mall on trash day when there were piles of trash all over the place around my house. Sure, I was safely back home, but the subconscious search for wires coming out of the garbage piles made it extremely difficult for me to leave my house. Fortunately for me, a little game called World of Warcraft came out a few weeks after I got home from Iraq. I remember standing at the front door to Walmart near Fort Lewis at 6 a.m. waiting for the doors to open so I could get my hands on a copy. I played that game like some people breathe in oxygen. And for the next month or so, it completely dominated my waking hours when I was forced to leave my house. I would be in such a hurry to get back home back to the game that over time gaming took my mind off of anxiety that living in the combat zone for a year built up. It was that support I wanted to share with my brothers and sisters in arms. So in 2010, when my driver from Iraq re-enlisted and was immediately shipped to Afghanistan, he reached out to me for help. He knew I had fostered some contacts in the games industry and asked if I could reach out to some of them. Let me do that. Let me rest my eyes, chat. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, this is a lot more reading than I thought it was going to be. But it's a really good story so far. I'm enjoying it. If you're wondering, yes, I have not read this prior. I was just thinking, like, this is a good segue to get to this. I knew, like, the gist of it. I know it's, like, video gaming for the mental health of, it's the video gaming for the mental health of, veterans who are trying to readjust into society. And, that's why I joined the Stack Up, the VTuber, charity team, to see if they could get his unit some games and video game consoles. The response from the games industry was surprising, and I received an amazing bounty of donated games and gear upon receiving it in Afghanistan. The word got out that this crazy ex-army captain was sending out thousands of dollars worth of games and gear to units that sent him an email. And here we are now, standing tall, proud of our gaming heritage with the launch of StackUp.org. Look at him. He looks like he's so happy. I'm happy for him. That's pretty cool. I think this is like one of the one of those like things like that they send off. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Alright, so we got that. Let's see here. Testimonials. But yeah, so what they do is let's see here. Supply crates. One of the things they do is send out supply crates, which they give away one supply crate a month, and then I think they send out a lot more during the holiday season. And here's like a good example. Like they get like one of the latest consoles. They get a bunch of games for it. Looks like they get some downloadable games, headset and stuff. They get gear. They get a good amount of gear. You gotta switch a bunch of games. Look at that. They're just having a blast. Oh yeah, I think they also get t-shirts too. But yeah, they also have, let's see here, I can come over here, come back here, air assaults. Let's see here, air assaults are expenses paid trips for veterans to attend life-changing video game and geek culture events. So this would be like sending them to anime conventions, gaming conventions, Comic-Con, EVO, E3, you know, different places to kind of like meet other people who are in gaming and stuff, and kind of like get them integrated into social communities that are based off of a common interest that can help them kind of like integrate into like outside of that kind of previous life they were having to live, you know, which is pretty cool. So let's get back to the debate. Sorry for the long sidetrack there, but I wanted to put out, let you guys know about Stack Up, what they do and stuff, since I'm putting their charity link right there.
Is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Let's move to the topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year. Former President Trump, Russian...
That's crazy. That's been 3 years. That's crazy.
President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on...
Is he legit just dodging the question to just, like, throw shade at Biden?
on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, a president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned. And so he's got no love lost, but he should have fired.
Okay, so you hear that. He admits he fired that general. Why would he fire that general? Does he give us a real reason?
Fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like...
Why are you in contact with Putin? That's my question. Like, why are you buddy-buddy with someone that's, like, literally threatening us?
Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration. This place, the whole world is blowing up under him.
President Biden?
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter is that we're in a situation where let's take...
I want to get a sound clip of that. I've never heard so much malarkey in my life. I want to make it into a soundboard. That's amazing. I've never heard so much malarkey in my life.
Take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president. They attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I
as
never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute, I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then do you think he'll stop there? Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, and by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward, which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one. They're the only ones standing out. We're still.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm not gonna get into it on stream. I'm not gonna go there.
Pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened in Israel? We're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so there are two different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all. You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. Are you going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have, our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but we're ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. If you want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace. No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up...
Give me a minute. What was the question?
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations.
What?
Because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they were no cars, they don't want anything that we have. But we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture.
Is he just trying to, change the questions entirely? It's this question here could, really mean a lot of, damage to my reputation. Let's pretend that's this question instead. It's
culture. I changed that.
He's just
but the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this, I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question, would you guard us against Russia, at a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that time. And they said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next months. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes. As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world,
No,
we were
we weren't.
respected. And then he comes in, and we're now.
I can't tell you how many times, like, Europeans, like, my European friends would, like, just talk about, like, dude, your country's a laughing stock of the world right now. It's like, yeah, I'm aware. I live here. We're a laughing stock to ourselves.
Laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. That what happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
What?
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying,
watching,
oh, no, it's
Trump
my responsibility.
dodge
I was
questions.
responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of,
from Germany?
in writing, by the way, the
what's
mayor,
up?
in writing,
You
turned
ready
it
to
down,
watch
the
this
mayor
train wreck?
of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what.
Wait, what? Give me a minute. What? Why is he talking about money, like, about, like, January
Said peacefully
6th?
and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her, and she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day.
My voice. Here, I'll turn this down then a little. There we go.
Hey, she was, I don't know,
Yeah,
you can't be very happy
it's
with her
pretty
daughter
sad.
because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility for January 6th.
President Biden?
Do you?
Look, he encouraged those folks to go up on Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in that dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll now forgive them for what they've done. They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that no. But he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing,
crazy.
And these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones that are being
If I
held
was an
accountable.
American,
And he
I
wants to
wouldn't
let them
even
all out,
vote.
and now
One
he says if he does it again, such a
psycho
whiner
and
that
one
he.
who cannot speak one sentence without stuttering. So here's my point of view. We got Homelander. We're our sleepy uncle. I'd rather our sleepy uncle be in control because, yeah, he's our sleepy uncle. But, you know, he's not going to purposely throw the world into chaos. That's my point. But also, I really want to ensure that he doesn't win because he enables literal neo-Nazis. Let me see here. Let's see here. So this is the type of people that support Trump.
My idea is simply this. America was built by and for the white Christian people of this nation.
But yeah, like,
we have been seeing really ever since Barack Obama first won election in late 2008, a growth in groups on the radical right. In 2008, we went from about 150 so-called patriot groups, anti-government radical groups, to something like 1,360 groups in 2012.
Oh, that's scary.
In the last year, though, Donald Trump has added fuel to that fire in a very big way.
Why the hell are you here? Kim, why are you here? Go. Why are you here, man? Go. Why are you here? Go.
Oh, yeah. Those are the people who he empowers, and I'd rather our sleepy uncle. But the Democrats are also so stupid. They are. And the Republicans are stupid to choose Trump. Oh yeah, they're both crap. They're both crap. It's just this one here doesn't empower white supremacists.
Is that it could be a bloodbath?
Thank you, President
At least
Biden.
on purpose.
President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
It's crazy.
What you have done, how you've destroyed the
insane.
lives of so many people.
Nikki
When
Haley
they
would
ripped
be
down
my
Portland,
fave.
when they ripped down...
I remember, so someone tried to make a song for Nikki Haley. It was really funny. It was a really bad song. It was like, let me see if I can find it. Can I find that? Let's see here. Let me find it. It was really funny. It's not good. Nikki Haley song. Let's see here. Is this... We Need You, Nikki. Is this it? This isn't it, is it? Oh no, this actually isn't it.
We need you, Nikki, right now to lead our nation. We need you, Nikki, no doubt. With the conversation, we need you, Nikki, right now. 'Cause families are hurting. We need you, Nikki. We need more freedom, more jobs for certain. We need you, Nikki, to stay united, to bring together a land divided. We need you, Nikki, to heal the sorrow and help our kids have a better tomorrow. We need you, Nikki, right now to lead our nation. We need you, Nikki, no doubt. Lead the conversation. We need you, Nikki, right now. 'Cause families are hurting. We need you, Nikki. We need more freedom, more jobs for certain. Underestimate me, that should be fun. She said when they asked her about her run, but we all know that she is the one to be our leader when the road is done. Oh, we need you, Nikki, right?
But this is crazy. That's crazy that someone actually did that. That's so funny. A billionaire like paid for that.
Many other cities. You go to Minnesota, Minneapolis.
I
what
actually
they've
don't
done
know
there
much about Nikki
with the
Haley.
fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of the, they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that, they saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing, the Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office,
crazy.
and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, I want to give you a minute.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is...
Why did he nod like it was cool?
What he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing, will you denounce these guys? Will you denounce the people we're talking about now? Will you denounce the people who attacked that Capitol?
That's crazy.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
Video's still too loud.
We're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the Senate. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president. No history.
But yeah, this is I'm doing a blind reaction to this because I was out yesterday.
Think of all the civil penalties. How many
I heard so much crazy shit happen.
Civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant. I mean, what are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
The morals of an alley cat.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking
horrible judge. He was Democrat. It was like, that doesn't explain why he's a horrible judge.
Democrats appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy.
Are
Do
they?
you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to
Yes,
vote
they
for
are.
President
That's
Trump
not even a
will be
question.
voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around.
He does.
He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a real problem. And so the fact that, could you ever think you hear any president say that I'm going to seek retribution? Do you ever hear any president say that?
I've never heard that
thought
before.
Hitler had some
It's
good
crazy.
ideas?
I heard
What got
that.
me involved to run the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother.
Sorry for the stray
And
raptor.
They asked him. They said, "What?
He looks
what
so
do you
sick.
think of those people?"
He
The
does.
people
He
who-
really
the ones that
does.
killed, the one who tried to stop it.
He
and the one who
really
said, "I think
does.
there's fine people on both sides." What
He also
American
just looks
president
confused half the
would ever
time.
say? Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches.
Honestly,
singing-
they both look like
singing
shit.
anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas. We're fine people.
Oh,
This
no.
is the guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done.
That's
what
why
he
him
said.
and Kanye
This
were
guy has
getting
no
along
sense
with.
for
That's why they're best buddies.
President Trump.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on that story. He just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a
That's
debate.
crazy.
We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency is, without question, the worst president, the worst
it?
presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be
don't
having
think
a
so.
debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see
He
it's
made it
debunked
up,
all
okay.
over the place.
Alex Jones
every
moment.
anchor every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day, it came out where it was fully
He's
debunked.
pulling some Alex
It's-
Jones shit here. I mean, if Trump speaks, he is only staring into the room with the open mouth. That is true.
A nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden.
And debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected. If he thought they were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president at all.
That's
And the
crazy.
idea that he's talking about all this being fabricated, we saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th. We saw the people breaking through the windows. We saw people occupying his own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time.
That's
His
crazy.
vice president hasn't endorsed him this time.
That's a
Why?
huge number.
Why? They know
Those
why.
are some
They
huge
should.
numbers.
Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the
This, by the
CNN
way,
presidential debate.
systems of dementia. Yeah, like, there's, like, a lot of, like, we're gonna skip over the sponsor. I really don't care about the sponsors for that. But, there was, like, also, like, there's a lot of signs of dementia on, dementia. If I can... Did I even spell it right? I probably did not. Dementia, that's how you spell it. Right here. It's really crazy to look at, actually. But yeah, look at that. That's crazy. The way he stands, it's so funny. He's repetitive. It's actually crazy because he is compulsive behavior, inability to concentrate or plan. He was not concentrating at all. Problems with balance or movement, memory loss, stiffness, awkwardness, poor judgment. Poor judgment. Yeah, it's crazy.
Black families still earn far less than white families. Black mothers are still 3 times more
Oh
likely
gosh, is
to
this
die
where that
from
like
pregnancy-related
iconic
causes,
phrase
and Black Americans
from
are
Trump comes
imprisoned
from?
at 5 times the rate of white Americans. What do you say to Black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there's more small Black businesses that have been started than any time in history. Number two, the wages of Black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time. Number three, we're providing housing for Black Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporations that collude to keep people out of their houses. And in addition to that, we find that the impact on the choice that Black families have to make relative to child care is
Come on, buddy, you
difficult.
need to do better than
When we
this.
did the first major piece of legislation in the past, I was able to reduce Black
You're not my favorite,
child
but
care
you're better
costs.
than
I cut
the
them in
other
half.
guy. Please
In
do
half.
better.
We got to make sure we provide for child care costs. We got to make sure because when you
Come on,
provide those
buddy.
child
You
care
can do it.
protections, you
Just
increase
get it out.
economic growth because more people can
Just
be
get
in,
it out,
in the
buddy.
job market.
And
So,
one of them will
there's more to
run
be
the
done.
most
Continue to be more
powerful
to be done.
nation in the
But
world.
we've
Yeah,
done
that
a
is
great
true.
deal so far, and I'm not letting up, and they know it.
You have 49 seconds left. What do you
I've
say to
accepted
Black
my fate a long
voters who are
time ago.
disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly.
I've
For
accepted
example,
my
I provided for the
role
idea that
in life
any Black family,
to just
first-time
sit
home
here
buyer
and
should get a
watch.
$10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home. So
It's
they can get
unfortunate.
started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those Black families and those Black
We in
individuals
Europe are so
provided
are all
had to
scary.
take out
I
student
know.
loans that were
I don't blame you guys.
that if
It's
they were
scary.
engaged in nursing, doctor, and anything having to do with volunteerism, if they paid their bills for 10 years and student debt, all the rest was forgiven after
It's
10
crazy.
years. Millions have benefited from that. And we're going to do a whole lot more for Black families.
Thank you, President Trump.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right, it's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing Black families and Hispanic families and just about
no.
everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the cost of food where it's double.
Okay. Right now, I'm actually able to get meat that I can cook. Before, I could only eat like ramen and eggs. So that's like where I stand on that. Like, I live in one of the poorest states. Like, I think we're the third poorest. Let me find out. I live in Kentucky, so let's find out. How poor is Kentucky? Let's find out. So your poverty rate in 2022 was 16%, 16.5%, which is higher than national averages means. So here. High poverty. Kentucky is one of several states with high poverty rates, including Mississippi, Louisiana, New Mexico, West Virginia, and Arkansas. So we're in the top 5. 1/6 higher than national average. Oh gosh. Yeah. But I'm actually able to buy meat now. I can actually think about getting like a treat, like get like ice cream or something with my groceries every week. I have that opportunity now, which is before that was like a pipe dream. Like, oh man, a $2 thing of ice cream would sound great right now. But can't afford it. But yeah, that's like, that was my life under Trump. My life under Biden has been a lot better.
Tripled and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New Scam and all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on the Black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking Black jobs now, and it could be 18 it could be 19 and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
Did he... What?
Black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19 and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be...
What exactly is a black job, and what is a Hispanic job? Like, what? Like, what does that even mean? I don't know. Let me see if you guys can hear that. Oh yeah, you guys can hear that. Definitely. Let me go take care of my dog real quick. Artist by profession, and I usually do Twitch, YouTube, blah 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 blah. So, you know, I'm tired of this. So now I just respond with, sorry, I'm saving money for my dick reduction surgery, which is a lie. I actually need an extension. Real shit, you know? That's what true Sigma males do.
Sigma grind set.
Sigma grind set right there.
Like us, we're in the beta cuck mindset.
I mean, we are scared of women.
We are in the beta cuck mindset of trying to figure out how women work.
I don't understand. I plugged in the power cable, but it doesn't seem to be turning on.
I plugged it in. Bend over. And then we have another friend, Luke, that would refer to him as Ben over.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Luke was the friend I would go out partying a lot with.
Got it. You sucked his dick in the bathroom.
No, he sucked mine in the bathroom. I sucked his wife's dick.
You're distracting her, and you go like 5 inches. What the fuck? Okay, so step out of the car.
World's fastest car.
This is... There we go. There we go.
Jesus Christ, Leafy.
Should we let Leafy drive? Is this a good idea?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Leafy, you should probably get out of the car then.
I don't...
Leafy, just get out of the car.
What? Oh.
Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is.
There we go.
Leafy's playing as a hippie character, so he's probably behind if you only drive about 5 miles per hour.
The nerf.
Come on, bruh.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Go. Yes.
Holy shit!
Oh god!
Regni, what happened to you? Holy shit!
What are you? What do you want?
Play it off the entire time. Like it's a really, really bizarre game. I'm so, like, you see, this is the perfect horror game because not only do we suffer, but so does chat. You see, the other games, you guys get to be entertained by my suffering. In this scenario, we both suffer. You know?
Yeah. And that's the definition.
I was in a really bad spot here.
I think I downloaded the wrong William Osman video.
Me too. Me too, Leafy.
You guys see this? Just look at Leafy's stream real quick.
Yeah, you can
Just
see his wiener.
take in this exact clip.
Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. I'm going back to convene stream. Safe haven.
Actually, you know what? Let's follow that person. Let's be that guy. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? This may be considered toxic. Wait, what? How? How did you... How... There's no way you could do... There's no way you did that. They just landed. You guys saw that, right? They just landed. There's no way they have a weapon. Hey, you also got cock.
I do also have cock. I rescued.
You want a sword fight? You want a sword fight? We're crossing swords right now.
Turn off your fucking flashlight.
You killed my father.
Pew 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 pew.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
We're all the way back here. Oh yeah, that's right. Mole rats. Hey chat, I'm back. I'm back, chat. Everything's fine, and yeah, my dog's just freaking out because he saw other dog and he was like excited. My dog is not well behaved when it comes to other dogs. Whenever it comes to animals, he's not well behaved. Or someone knocks on the door, he freaks out like it's the end of the world.
Be the worst in our history.
It's not the end of the world yet. We still got a while before the election.
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 50% unemployment. He decimated the economy. Absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs. We provided thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities. We made sure that they have health insurance. We have covered, if the ACA has increased, I made sure that they're $8,000 per person in a family to get written off for health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again if they win. We find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing any, we put more police on the street than any administration has. He wants to cut the cops. We're providing for equity and making sure people have a shot to make it. There's a lot going on. But
he's actually answering this one pretty well.
His tremendous malfeasance in the way he handled the pandemic.
Thank you. Another persistent challenge.
That's like the first thing he said that he seemed like he was wide awake.
2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across the country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels. Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Well, let me just go back to what he said about the police, how close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump. Almost every police group. And what he's done to the black population is horrible.
So surprised every time
he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name, and he called it to them for 10, and they've taken great offense at it, and now they see it happening. But when they see what I did for criminal justice reform and for the historically black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zone.
Wait. Let's go back to that face.
Where I funded them and got them.
He just looks so, like, mad. He's like, I can't believe he brought that up. That's unfortunate because he did say, like, back in the 90s, he called black people super predators. That's unfortunate. That is something that he can't just live down. It's something that will not be passed. It's something that's going to be brought up multiple times. It is a weapon against him. And he, like, maybe in the 90s, you know, that wasn't, like, an issue, but, like, nowadays, like, there's footage of you just, like, you decide to flip off an old lady, that, and someone gets it, like, on camera or something, that you flipped off an old lady and everyone knows. That's just how the world works now.
Opportunity zones with with Tim, as you know. Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job, great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with the idea, and it was a great idea. It's one of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country, opportunity zones. And the biggest beneficiary are blacks. And that's why we have the best numbers with them in maybe ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning where ever, the best numbers.
Ever. Like, that's like actual statistics. Best ever. That's the statistics. He's a very, like, what's your source? My sources trust me, bro. He's a very, my sources trust me, bro kind of guy. By the way, guys, here, if you guys want to, like, hang out in the server, here. This is the Discord server. If you guys want to come check it out, hang out, goof around, shoot the shits, do the funny ha-has. I will say, like, we avoid politics in the server because it's not just a server for me, it's for other people. So, politics is a unique thing on my channel and one other person's channel. The others don't really dabble much into politics or talk about politics. Thanks for the follow, man. It's always good to have you. Welcome to the most problematic crew on the internet.
He's lost much of the black population because he's done a horrible job for black people. He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics. But wait till you see these millions of people pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs, and it's already started, and you haven't seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You've 38 seconds left, President Trump. Will you take any action as president to
I'm just realizing, Raptor, it's like late for you.
I want absolutely immaculate,
it's like
clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever, and we were using all forms of energy, all forms, everything. And yet, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic just before.
Dude, you did not offer assistance to California when they had, like, the worst forest fire in history. You cannot say that. You cannot say this. You had the worst forest fire in history during your presidency, and you did nothing about it. Oh my goodness.
Before I walked on the stage, actually.
I don't know where the hell he's been. The idea that anything he said is true. I've passed the most extensive climate change legislation in history. We find ourselves, and by the way, black colleges. I came up with $15 billion for HBCUs, historic black universities and colleges, because they don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and the like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just don't have the money, but now they'll be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done something that had the cleanest water, he hadn't done a damn thing for the environment. He pulled out of the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately joined it because if we reach 1.5 degrees Celsius at any one point, there's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all that I've done.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones. It was costing us money. Nobody else was paying into it. And it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence who were not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything if we're not able to? The United States can't get its pollution under control. One of the largest polluters in the world, number one. We're making significant progress. By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half. We have made significant progress, and we're continuing to make progress. We set up a climate corps for thousands of young people who will learn how to deal with climate, just like the Peace Corps. And we're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements of pollution. But the idea that he claims that he has the biggest heart up here and he's really concerned about pollution and about climate, I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for, one, voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, cannot have to pay.
Thank you.
And by the way,
so every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans,
he was on a roll on that one. He did fumble a little, but
nothing is done to Social Security. Seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security solvent?
yes, make the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Right now,
hell yeah,
everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck from the time the first one they get when they're 18 years old. The idea that they're going to, I'm proposing that everybody, they pay, the millionaires pay 1%. 1%. So no one I would not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody under $400,000. After that, I began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by increasing from 1% beyond to be able to guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent, but the biggest thing I'll do if we defeat this man, because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare, both times. And and if you look at the program put forward by...
Why does he look so proud right now?
That he, I believe, supports, is in fact want to cut it as well.
He kind of like,
the idea
just like, you know, that's a funny joke. I gotta remember that to tell the boys.
Ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before. And under the ACA, as I said, you're in a circumstance where 400,000 people, 40 million people would not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. Only thing that allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is, we're in a situation where we talk about education for black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants by another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year,
hell yeah,
get $15,000 toward their tuition. He just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies. I've never seen him
that
look
is
you in the face.
so rich.
I've got so many other things too.
So
and
many.
We mentioned the
he's
laptop.
Full of jokes,
we mentioned Russia, Ukraine.
He's
Ukraine.
Full of
and
jokes.
everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation
He's
and
a
disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals. They're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden?
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it, number one. Number two, the idea that we're going to be in a situation where all these millions and millions, the way he talks about it, illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world, the reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates he talked about being phony, those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession and inflation is going to increasingly go up. And by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted him the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country has risen to more than $11,000 a year per child. For many families, the cost of child care for 2 children is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do to make child care more affordable?
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him.
He really smacked him.
The other thing is, he doesn't fire people. He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI.
Dude, you fired a lot of people for calling you out.
Not easy to fire people. You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put them there. I didn't put Comey there. He was no good. I fired him. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border that's allowed us to have the worst border in the history of the world? Did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed?
What is he on?
Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing deal, and it reduced it a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders.
Like,
he wants our country to either be destroyed or he wants to pick up those people as voters. And I don't think we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance, of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We are the most admired country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest military in the history of the world, the finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody, number one. Number two, the idea that we're talking about worst presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up. Go online. 159 or 58, don't hold me the exact number, presidential historians. They've had meetings and they voted who's the worst president in American history. One through best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. He can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is doing anything to deal with child care.
It's crazy.
He did virtually nothing to child care. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work. And we should encourage businesses to have.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make child care more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you, and they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be.
He is so compensating right now. My man's is compensating. Let's settle this. They're arguing about this. All right. Let's look at this up. news channel. That is .com.org. Turns out wasn't the worst president in history. What's this? Okay. Who was? Let's look here. James Buchanan. Abraham Lincoln was number 1. Donald Trump is the 4th worst. Let's look for Joe Biden here. Where they put Joe? Good old Joe. This is in order, yeah, okay. Looks like Joe isn't on here because Joe, this is 2021. So he did not have like enough information to be put on this list. But yeah, you know, should have figured Abraham Lincoln was going to be number 1. George Washington being number 2 is interesting. I'm surprised. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt and Theodore Roosevelt. Which one was the one that was like really badass? Was it Theodore Roosevelt that was the one? Let's find out. Theodore Roosevelt. Was he the one that went into combat? He was a soldier. Was he like... He had his own group, right? So yeah, Theodore Roosevelt, TR, soldier, sickly child, so yeah, his book Naval War, secretary, so yeah, Roosevelt assumed presidency, yeah. Early life education. There's like one of the Roosevelts. I think it might have been Franklin Roosevelt. Think Franklin D. Roosevelt, was it him? No, it was definitely not him. In 1933, there's no way that was him. Served more than 2 terms. He is the only president to have served more than 2 terms. That's interesting. I did not know that. I thought you could only run twice. So it's interesting to me that he was able to have more. Maybe if it was Theodore. I think it was Theodore Roosevelt. Yo, Stitches, Teddy was the GOAT. Should be number 1, honestly. Was it Teddy that was the one that, was it that, he had, like, his own, like, little, like, military group that, he would go out into combat with? That was, like, just straight up badass. I can't remember which one it was. I knew it was a Roosevelt.
I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the 2 of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country.
Let me look it up real quick. Try this again. So let's see here. Theodore Roosevelt. Combat. Theodore Roosevelt embarked Air Wing consists of the Tomcatters of Strike Fighter Squadron, 31 Golden Warriors of VFA 87 Blue Diamonds of Black Knights, Liberty Bells, Grey Wolves, Heroes Spanish America, Theodore Roosevelt, the Rough Rider. The Rough Riders, that's right. He had a group called the Rough Riders. That's what it was. Yeah, they had they did guerrilla war tactics together. He led the group. That's right. Would straight up challenge other military leaders to fights instead of going to wars. Yeah, I know. He's he had his own strike group. How many members of the Rough Riders were there? How many members were there of the Rough Riders? There we go. Let's see here. That's actually a bigger group that I was expecting. 1,060. That's a much bigger group. We need Teddy. For real. We need a new Teddy. We need a new Teddy Roosevelt. Get someone up there that's willing to throw hands. We need someone to go up there and just play Dick-a-Punk. Or actually, no, it's no longer Dick-a-Punk. It's called Celebrity Fight. It's what it's called. It's a fighting game where you play as it was originally supposed to be politicians, but then yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Hell yeah, I would love that.
The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong.
Biden, I know, what you mean. I agree that Trump is technically, to me, Trump is the worst. But you have to be factual with this. You have to say fourth worst. He is the fourth worst president. That's just the truth. We just looked at it. He is rated the fourth worst. He cannot be labeled the worst if he's not the worst. I don't even know who this guy was that is labeled the worst here. I don't have it pulled up, but it didn't even matter.
He's increased.
Fuck this debate shit. Square up. Exactly.
Middle class people. I said
I actually started this out with I really think they should just say screw it, and just give them both wiffle ball, big ass wiffle ball bats, and they just duke it out gladiator style, and whoever wins becomes our new president. Imagine being so bad people don't know who you are anymore. Exactly. Although I didn't even know, I don't know, most of the U.S. presidents.
Tax upon anybody.
I only know, the goats.
This tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more, because they're going to have to pay the difference in food and all the things that are very important. Number two, he's in a situation where he talks about how he has not raised, he somehow helped the middle class. The middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You had the largest deficit of any president in American history.
That's the only thing Trump knows how to do is file bankruptcy. Nah, this debate was so mid. I felt like I was watching two grandpas fighting and was just waiting for someone to give them their meds. There's some parts that I'm able to find entertaining. There's some funny faces they make.
Made any contact.
Let me see. Do I have it pulled up still? Let me see here. Here it is. Yeah. Let me get open new page. Yeah, there's been a few times where Trump literally made this face. Literally the Homelander face here. the facial reactions were the only good things to come from this. Well, there's like some things like I've been like paying attention to, things he's saying and stuff that's just like Trump is just full of bullshit. There are something like Biden's over here, like he's making some good points, but the problem is I keep stumbling over his words.
Any progress with China? We are the lowest trade deficit with China since 2010.
Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, President Biden. Let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
It's great.
To finish up,
there was like a part where it looked
we now
like
have the largest
Biden
deficit
just was
in
like
the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Like I said earlier, he's not even addressing, he's making up his own questions. Like, they ask him a question, and he's like, but first... He's not even answering the questions he's, like, supposed to be answering. He's just making up his own questions and making up his own answers. Biden kept smirking so many times. I was like, bro, why do I feel like you have some tea you want to drop, but you can't? It's like, I know, right? For real. It's like, holy shit.
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had 2.5, almost 3 years of, like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough, and it was the drugs pouring across the border it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot, and we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways. But the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's ever seen under him because the border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl and the byproducts of fentanyl went down for a while. And I
was
wanted to
waiting
make
for
sure
him to just say something like it's because you always sucking Putin's dick. We got
and it costs a lot of money. That was part of his deal.
That would be amazing.
Deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs. More
he just puts out a twit longer about like the romance between Trump and
when we had that
Putin.
deal done,
that'd be funny. VTuber style takedown just puts out a Google Doc.
It's gonna hurt me. No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines. We need those machines.
My experience.
We're coming down very hard in every country in Asia.
Like mostly just like calling him poo-poo duty head.
Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to put
and then like
together.
Then like after like all the petty stuff's out of the way, it then gets into like the really serious stuff. Like he killed like 25 people and eat a baby.
To get the treatment they need.
Well,
with like actual like evidence that he did.
ended remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say it's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter. I think a good guy. And he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago, but Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases where we paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
That's crazy.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
I don't believe
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you would be 86 at the end of your second term. How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think look at what I've done. I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America.
Shade again, Chad.
Billions of dollars in private
That's my
investment
boy.
In enterprises that we are growing. By the way, we brought off
Bring
a
it
lot
back,
of people.
buddy. Bring it back. You got this.
The whole idea of computer chips. We used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States, and guess what? Those fabs they call to build these chips. Those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's billions, about $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America for all our problems and all our opportunities. We're the most progressive country in the world in getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world who keeps our word, and everybody trusts us. All of our allies and those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, we send love letters to, and Putin, etc. They don't want to.
Oh, he actually said it.
Thank you. Former President Trump.
Well, he actually said it. No way. No way.
Those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, we send love letters to, and Putin, etc.
No way. That's amazing.
Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them. As you know, we made it public. He took one. I took just one.
It's like,
really
I aced them.
Like, go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it.
What kind of test?
I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball the right way. And I do it. He doesn't do it.
What's a club? Okay. Am I being dumb? Like, what is a club championship? Let's find out. What is a club? Is he talking golf? So your club championships are really 2 competitions. A scratch competition for players with the best scratch rounds. Wait, what? Golf. What? That is the most silver spoon thing to say. That is the most silver spoon thing to say during a debate. It's like, I went to, like...
He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match.
I just love Biden's face to this.
I think I'm in very
like,
good shape.
is he
I
really
feel
saying
that
this
I'm
right
in
now?
good shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what you're... Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a job contest in him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag.
Take it to the golf greens.
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay,
Let's not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to...
Let's not act like children.
Let's not act like you can beat me at golf.
To a specific concern that voters have about you. Will you pledge tonight that once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins, and you will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable?
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest...
Alright, chat, here. I'm going to show you the statement on Twitter he made. 1 second. Let's see here. This is the statement he made on Twitter. Oh. Did it not work? What happened? Give me a minute, chat. What's going on? That's weird. Did it not work? What happened? Did my sound alerts break? What's going on with my trigger fire? Is my trigger fire like missing? No, it's right there. Yeah, for some reason my trigger fire's not working. Well, that's unfortunate. The joke, I can do the joke.
Statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made, in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the police.
Well, actually, give me a minute. I'm gonna try something else. Let's try this. Yeah, it's all not working. That's weird. That's unfortunate. All right.
As Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president.
He indicted you because
I would rather have that. I wouldn't be
attack
here.
on,
I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is
You
he's
were
so bad as
indicted
a president
before.
that I'm going to make America great again. We're
He
going
was
to make America great
elected.
again. We're a failing
What are you
nation
talking
right
about?
now.
Why
We're
are
a
you
seriously
blaming that on
failing
him?
nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so
We're a
bad.
failing nation because of
his
him.
military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III. Let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is an attack on all, the required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done, what they've done. Because we are a powerful nation. We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia. Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked if I were
President
president.
Trump, the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless
That sounds
of
like
who wins, yes or no,
premeditated.
please?
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country.
That is a straight
I
up
would be
lie,
very
though.
happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again...
No, he had full intentions to, like...
No
to run
indictments,
again.
no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Well, let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first
You're a
time,
whiner.
You continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America said any of your claims had any merit, state or local, none. But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all.
That's crazy.
And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner. The idea, if you lose again, you accepting anything, you can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
We'll be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate, live from Georgia.
That's crazy. We're going to skip over this sponsor.
It's predetermined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
we've made significant progress from the debacle that was left by President Trump in his last term. We find ourselves in a situation where, number one,
is he feeling the pressure?
We have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience, or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes, and will not. And if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic. And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did, when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to $35 for insulin instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the
He's got a lot of stuff to say about
make
Trump.
That available to every senior all along. It's happening now, and everybody in America. He wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credits people have for child care. I'm going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out.
Oh, shit. No, that's not
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate.
That is not what I wanted.
President.
Can we get back to where we were at?
We're live.
Never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years.
He's describing things that's like,
was incredible.
what are you
Choice
talking
for our soldiers,
about?
Where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden.
Do that. It just cuts off there. That's funny. That's funny. I'll be real. There was like so much there to unpack that was just like, why are you doing this? We're gonna raid an old friend of mine. We're gonna raid my old friend Tia. I haven't spoken to her in like a month or something. Like since last time I was in her stream. Her name is Tia Dragon. Go give her some love. She's pretty cool. She's funny. But yeah, remember to use your panty raid emotes.
And also the saucy drawing that I'm drawing, and I am not making any